Hey, so I wanted to make a video real quick about aliens, basically, because it's been a popular topic lately. Last year, supposedly the government was supposed to declassify all the information they had on the existence of aliens and UFOs and all of that. And there's been documentaries, and you hear a lot of different people talk about it, on different media and different things, the internet. Netflix has that documentary that just came out by Bob Lazar, which I hear is pretty good. I haven't seen all of it, but I've heard about it more than anything from just people talking about, aliens, because it's been such a popular topic lately. And basically, a lot of credible people have been coming forward in, like Commander Fravor, off of that Netflix documentary. Commander Fravor, obviously, him talking about it has a little bit more weight to it, you know what I mean, rather than just your average hillbilly saying he swears, like having a commander of a U.S. Navy commander say that, yes, we've me personally and, people on our ship have multiple times encountered these unidentified crafts that basically travel, they maneuver and travel at speeds that far surpass the technology that we currently have, and they just toy with our fighter pilots, and they have no way of, they have no idea how it even propels itself, its propulsion mechanism, or on an infrared camera they try to see if it's burning fuel or something, or if there's any kind of heat signature. It shows, so you can kind of get a better idea of how it maybe is flying, or how the technology they may be using, or whatever. It shows nothing. It just moves at ridiculous speeds like lightning, and it basically zips across the right above the water, and it will just make 90-degree turns at Mach speeds, you know what I mean? Just insane crap that is hard to explain, but they keep seeing it. And that's just one story. Because it's been a popular topic lately, people have been having they've been recounting and having all the best encounter stories and abduction stories and testimonies from people all over the states, and that have pretty dang compelling stories, that they've spent their whole lives researching and telling people about what happened to them, whether people believe them or not. I've listened to a lot of them, and I've never really been big on aliens. I'm more of more of a spiritual background, so I kind of look at life through the lens of God creating the earth, and but I won't get off track. Which basically, religion, I think, is one of the fundamental arguments or problems people have with the existence of alien life. If God created the earth, it was a decision, it wasn't by chance. So he chose to put life on earth. That's a lot different than if the Big Bang is true, then it was a spark or whatever. It was nature that created our life-sustaining planet, and if it was Mother Nature, then chances are whatever gave us our spark, it gave it to another situation out there. And that kind of brings me into my one of my points I wanted to explain about what scientists claim, or it's basically just a thought experiment, and it gives you an example of the scale of the universe, the scale of, how many different possibilities there are out in the universe of there being another solar system, or another sustaining planet. And, to just kind of give you an idea of like what the odds are. And the odds are, from a purely unbiased point of view, the odds are pretty high. And I'm trying to look at this from a purely just, a purely unbiased way, from someone that, doesn't believe necessarily in any origin of life, but just is, trying to comprehend just some basic facts. So, a big argument, are basically what, I guess you could say a big argument that's talked about a lot, is how so let me just explain first. Let me just explain, our sun we just call it our sun, but our sun is just a star. Every star you see in the night sky is another sun. You know what I mean? Possibly. We just call it our sun. We call this our solar system because we orbit around our star, our sun, and it enables us to sustain life because we rotate at just the right speed, at just the right distance, and it allows us, our planet, to be life-sustaining. So basically, just in our one galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, which is 100,000 light years from end to end, which is pretty far. But just in our little tiny cul-de-sac of our galaxy, our little solar system, in our galaxy is just a tiny little speck. If you look, looking at our Milky Way spiral galaxy. But so in our Milky Way galaxy, there is 100 to 400 billion stars in our one galaxy. Now, scientists say, it's been updated recently, that there's probably upwards of 2 trillion galaxies in the universe. If you ask me, I say there's more than that. The universe is probably infinite, but that's just my opinion. So if there's 100 to 400 billion stars in just our one galaxy, then that's a lot of other possible suns. You follow me? In just our one galaxy, scientists say there's about 2,500 other stars that have a planet orbiting around it. And that's, try counting to 2,500. That's a lot. So that's 2,500 chances that there is a planet out there orbiting at just the right distance around its star that allows it to be a life-sustaining planet. Now, whether it's life-sustaining is one argument, and then whether there's actually life on that planet or not is actually another argument. So basically, if there's 100 to 400 billion stars in just our one galaxy, that means there's billions upon billions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions of stars in the whole entirety of the universe. So that's a lot of damn chances. Basically, scientists think that the closest neighboring galaxy that could possibly have alien life is the Andromeda galaxy. and that's like 2.5 million light years away. So our Milky Way galaxy, like I said, is 100,000 light years from end to end. One light year is 5.8 trillion miles. So that's pretty far. So 2.5 million light years to the Andromeda galaxy, that's pretty damn far. Which kind of brings me to my next point. If there is alien life out there and they can travel to Earth, then that means they have reached a level of existence that's like far superior to our own. They've either figured out how to use time travel, or they've figured out they've learned how to fold time and space somehow. They've learned how to basically they've figured out how to travel through wormholes, maybe. Who knows? But however, you can't travel that far. Like just imagine trying to travel that far. Just imagine trying to travel from end to end, 100,000 light years, end to end, in just our galaxy. Like, you have to travel so far into the future that, and the only way to do that would be to be put in cryogenic sleep, like, and then you wake up and you're so far into the future, like, everybody you know is dead, is the Earth even still around? There's no way to know. I'm just saying, and then to travel back, that's so much time. Like, there's no way. You would have to fold space and time. Like, even if you got put in cryogenic sleep, like, you can't travel millions of years into the future. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess you could put yourself in cryo, maybe, and then travel, and then just be you and your crew, or just, kind of like have a few years to live until you die, like, because we don't live forever out in some alien part of the world. I'm just saying, if an alien species out there can travel to us, then they are far superior technology-wise, and probably consciousness-wise and existence-wise. Like, they've figured their shit out. You know what I mean? They're at a level far surpassing our own. And so if you think of it that way, like, you got to try to think, like, okay, us as Earth, like, what do we even have to offer? Like, like, why would somebody even want to come here? Possibly just because, like, the popular old reasons, if you remember with me kind of from movies and just what conversations I've... just wanting to visit us because we're other intelligent life, because we're obviously special, because they're obviously just as eager to meet us as we are to them, because, we're the other life out there in the planet. No. If there's other life out there, then there's not just one other planet with life. It's safe to assume, if there is other life, there's multiple planets. We're talking trillions of stars. So that's that's the possibilities of there being another solar system situation out there. So if you just start to try to process these large numbers, that, you know what I mean, the odds are, and just purely for argument's sake, if there is life on other planets, then it's not just one other planet, it's multiple. And if it's multiple, then if you think of the scale, the large numbers we're dealing with, then it's a lot of multiple. It's not just a couple, it's a lot. Why would it just be one other? You know what I mean? It would be millions upon millions of other. They might not all be at the same level of existence, but if any of them can travel to any of them, then they are pretty damn superior. To us, at least. So, are they going to just pick Earth out of the millions just to, like, teach us things? they would have to be pretty nice and pretty humanitarian, and I don't know why the F they would feel the need to do that. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to imagine what it is Earth would have to offer. And try to think of just the number 100,000. Okay, think of if there was 100,000, and this is just I'm trying not to overwhelm you with numbers. I'm an idiot myself, so I've just looked into this so much. I just have remembered some of these numbers. I'm not smart. Just don't get deceived. Back to my topic here. Now, just for purely argument's sake, think of the number 100,000. Try to imagine counting to 100,000. Imagine that there's 100,000 alien planets that are closest or whatever, you know? That's a lot to choose from. And say Earth is one of those 100,000, right? Now, what do we know about Earth? We can't really offer them much, maybe some resources, maybe some raw materials, but whatever we can offer there, I guarantee you another planet can offer the same exact shit. So, like, why would they pick Earth? Just to help us out. Or just to harvest our, whatever, which isn't good. But, getting off track. With so many stars in the universe, that's a lot of other theoretical possibilities of alien planets. So, if there's trillions upon trillions, then a conservative possibility, if we're talking theoretical, a conservative possibility is, let's just say, 1 million planets. If there's trillions upon trillions of stars out there, 2 trillion galaxies, and just our one galaxy has 1 to 400 billion stars, so 1 to 400 billion times 2 trillion is a lot of effing stars. So that's a lot of other alien planets, okay? So, if they can travel anywhere they want to, if they've figured that much out, then where are they going to travel to? You know what I mean? Are they going to spin the wheel and just whatever it lands on? So that means we're like 1 out of a billion. That's our chances of them picking us. And then if they pick us, it's like, if they're that far superior, I guarantee you they have a way of figuring out what we have to offer as far as our history, as far as our resources, our minerals, you know what I mean? I'm sure they can scan our shit and it can be like, bullet points, like this percentage of water, this percentage of intelligent life, these different species, you know what I mean? These minerals, and so they can just be like, oh, okay, well, this would be if we're going to spend the time and energy and effort to travel to somewhere, then it's going to be somewhere worth it. You know what I mean? This is just the way I would assume. I'm just trying to make like reasonable arguments, and I'm not really trying to convince you of much other than just with just facts about the universe, and the odds of things. So let me say again, if there is alien life out there, it's not just on one other planet. And if they can travel to us, then they are far superior to us, and they're not just going to pick Earth. It's just, that's not, you know what I mean? And you only have, okay, just for argument's sake, I guess you could say maybe if they're that advanced, possibly they have figured out how to live forever, and that might be the only thing that would get Earth on their list, is that they've had the time to go to all the other planets, and that would mean they're infinite beings, and and so who knows? All I'm saying is don't get super excited about aliens, because the odds of them coming here isn't very great, isn't very high. Okay, sorry to burst your bubble, but I do believe shit is happening. I just don't think it's aliens. I think it's either alternate dimensions, and the only reason I'm saying this, and I'm not trying to sound crazy, is just because of how much overwhelming evidence I have heard about people's experiences. And I'm not just talking about alien encounters. I'm talking about like things like sleep paralysis. I'm talking multiple thousands upon thousands of accounts of people, all walks of life, from all over the world, don't know each other, don't even speak the same language, but they all report seeing the same basic three entities: the hag, the hat man, and the freaking what's that other thing, like that other shadow guy. There's like these shadow people, basically shadow figures, like that you're in bed and you can't move, and like you're in, all you can feel is like complete and utter fear and terror because you see this being creep into your room with red eyes and just stare at you, and there's nothing you can do because you're in between sleep and reality, and you're just enough awake to be able to see this being fucking with you. And it supposedly, it hasn't happened to me, thank the Lord, but it has happened to so many close friends of mine, and I've researched it, and on top of just countless things I've heard. That's just one thing, you know, these whenever you get so many people reporting the same thing that have no relation to one another, but they report the exact same details, it's hard to hold the position that there is nothing else out there. You follow me? So if you times that stuff, you know, and I believe in angels and demons, you know, I'm not going to try to preach, but like I said, that's kind of my background. So I believe God created the earth, you know, I believe that's more of what it probably is, you know, or, you know, maybe there's alternate dimensions, you know. And I know the Bible doesn't talk about alien life, and a lot of people say if there was, then God would have told us, and if He didn't tell us about it, then we don't need to know, you know, like, whatever. The Bible doesn't say anything about it, but the Bible also doesn't say that there is not alien life out there either. So, you know, for all we know, God could have had created other life far away. So, you know, and there'd be no way for us to know about it. So I'm just saying, unless they could travel. So, basically, with all the things, all it takes is you researching, you know what I mean? And I feel like I'm a pretty decent judge of character, and from all the experiences I've had throughout my life and all the things I have researched, which is a fair amount, you know, religious history, world religion, all that stuff, and with the religious background I have, it's just been something that's highly interested me, you know, and so I've researched a lot of it, and I just think that the angels and demons are probably more along the lines of what is going on, and I think they know our thoughts about aliens, and who knows, you know, I don't want to get too conspiracy. I know that kind of turns a lot of people away. But yeah, I definitely, if you take the time to look into it, you're gonna come across the same conclusion I do, and there's definitely something else out there, but I don't think it's aliens. I don't think we're special enough for them to pick us out of all the other millions and millions of possible planets out there. I don't think we're that special. Sorry. So let's just give you a little something to think about, and I would love to hear your thoughts or opinions on it. I know I kind of trailed there at the end, but I just don't want this thing to go too long, and I don't want to get into too many different subjects because Lord knows I can't. And then this thing turns into an hour, and I don't know what day it is and all that. So just want to leave it at this one point about to kind of put minds at rest as far as aliens. Don't get too excited about freaking aliens, okay? If there are aliens, like, would they come all this way just to play hide and seek with us? You know what I mean? Like, no. Like, I don't know. Like, if they're going to come here, they're going to make themselves known, you know? They're not just going to study us forever and then do not... You know, what would be the point? Like, they're so much superior to us. What... And there's other life on other planets. Like, you know, like... Why would they give a shit about us? I mean, obviously there's possibilities I'm sure people could think of. I just don't see it being a very high probability. So that's all I got. Yep, and like I said, I'm gonna try to maybe post some links about some of this info just to kind of show you like what's been going on. And it's like I said, it's been a very popular theme lately. People really want to know. Obviously, I do too. You know, if there's something out there, obviously I want to know. And if people are reporting it over and over and over, even credible people, then it's obviously something. But think about what I said about the aliens, and if it's not damn aliens, then what is it? That's what I want people to possibly be thinking about. Thank you. God bless.